But it's still happening.
Can everyone please sit down? We'll pass the register around. HM has already arrived. We don't want to delay him. Can everyone please sit and move a little? Back to back. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. Now we'll start the meeting.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Karishma Sushil Kumar. I'm from the batch of 2005. All right, we're just going to check that again really quick. Okay, excellent. Well, once again, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Karishma Sushil Kumar. I am from the batch of 2005, and this committee's secretary. And so I will be your host today at the AGM. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. We'll start, of course, with some sort of statutory requirements where we will first read and approve the notice convening the meeting. Yeah? Okay. All right. Just a moment. Yeah, I think everybody's received the notice in your inboxes or WhatsApp or everywhere, so we consider that read, folks. Good to see some familiar faces. Thank you, yes. Yeah. Familiar faces and new faces. All right, we move on. Sorry?
Yeah, proposal.
Oh, I'll run that just a moment. No worries. Yeah. So for the notice as well. Okay, just a moment. So we'll need. I'm just one moment.
Proposal is.
Yes. Folks, we're fine. Okay. We're going to move on to the next thing here. We're just going to establish a quorum. After that, we'll do some remembrances, and then we will then approve the minutes from the last AGM, at which point we will need a proposer and a seconder, and I will call on you for that. So for now, we're just going to establish quorum. We have, may I request a friend at the, yeah. The number? Okay. Plus all of us. Right? Okay, so the quorum stands at 50 members attending in person. And I'm sorry, we're just bumbling about in the beginning. Apologies for that. We'll get into the flow of things in just a moment. So the quorum stands at 50. Thank you all for being here. That means we have officially got quorum to continue this meeting. So thanks once again for being here. A round of applause for all of us. Thank you for being Endo Cutlets. We appreciate it. We've got some folks who will be joining us. This is getting streamed live, so folks around the world can also chime in and watch, and also watch later when it's a recording. We'll move on quickly. We've got a little bit of a reel for us in remembrances to remember those of us of our family who have left us this year, and we're just featuring all those folks. All right, here are the folks. Once we go through them, just so you can process who they are, we will all stand up together for a moment of silence after. This is Ragini Nepage Dikshit, batch of 75. We then have Dean Liu Fen Chong, batch of 2021. Vikram S. Kirloskar from batch of 76. Chaco Varghese from batch of 1962. Sorry, that was not the right picture, of course, if that was a younger person. I'll just move on to the others. You can hear me as I speak. We have Sanjeev Roy from the batch of 74. Sita Subaya, name Gopaya, batch of 65. Shankar Menon, batch of 57. David John Sampson, batch of 1972. Maya Aoki, name Rosario, batch of 1990. Sendar Kumar, batch of 2012. Gopal Panikkar, batch of 1970. Keith Everett, batch of the late 40s. He was in school till 47. Sriram Narayan, batch of 1982. I think we've all seen some of those messages come on WhatsApp just 2 days ago. With that, if I could request all in attendance to kindly stand up for a moment of silence. If there's anyone we've left off, please let us know and we will add it to the minutes when we pass them out. A moment of silence, please. Okay, well, please be seated. Thank you all. And with their spirits in mind, we will continue this afternoon's AGM. We now move on to another statutory requirement of approving the minutes of the last AGM. This was again circulated to all OLs and in various formats. So you've all seen that. I request, I've got this one here. I request a proposer. Yes,
Yeah, I propose.
we've got a proposer there as well. May I have your name, sir, in the back?
That's a 93.
Ashwin Selvaraj, what batch?
93.
93, lovely. Thank you, sir. And who will second this, please, for us? Mr. Kundan? All right. 59, thank you. It's important for us to know. And thank you. And with that, we consider the minutes passed for the last AGM. Thank you all so much. Now we can officially begin our, a round of applause for all of us. Yes, please, go ahead. With that, we officially begin the rest of the agenda for this AGM. We'll of course begin with the HM's address to the OLA members seated here and joining us live as well. Mr. Prabhakaran, I welcome you to the days and thank you so much for being here as always. A round of applause for Mr. Prabhakaran. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for calling me here to address this gathering. To me, OIL community was not just a unit or a group of students who passed out. They come for their annual pilgrimage once a year. They come and visit. They relive with their memories. It was not like that. For me, it was a support base. Though I had a lot of OLs in Board of Governors body, I was more friendly and more approachable and more open to those Board of Governors who were OLs. For example, Mr. Balamurugan, Mr. Arun Alagappan, they were here when that was who appointed me. Whenever I had any issue, without even talking to the chairman, I talked to them. This is what it is. Then Mr. Sudhir Rao, Mr. Ramesh Venkateshwaran, and Mrs. Uttara, all these, Uttara ma'am is here. All these people had a special place for me. It's not that they're royals. They're the people genuinely interested in the welfare of the school. And I also taught in a boarding school for more than 30 years. I know school is a feeling for them. It's a deep-rooted feeling. Much more than doing their job as board member or X or Y. They do it with a passion. So that is how I have always reacted. That's why I've always had that great respect for those OLs who are on the board. When it comes here, I must thank the first gentleman, Mr. T. Gundan. The moment I landed, he's the first one who invited me to his residence and gave me a lot of pep talk about what is it all about. And moreover, if I had any issues, any problem, he's just one phone call away. Just call him, he's there. And if he's not available, he'll give you a solution. Do this, do that. And of course, I must express my sincere thanks to a great man who has been a great help to me. Without him, I would have been able to manage most of the legal issues. Advocate Purnam Thagaperumal, who has been a great help, and it is beyond the words which I can speak about him. If I go to him with a problem, he will help me to sort out the problem. On top of it, he'll give me lunch, he'll be dinner, and everything will be followed by that. So that's how he treated. See, all these are great shortcuts. If I have any issues, yes, I'm looking for a chief guest. What do I do? There, Mr. Ramesh Venkateshwaran. Yes, I know someone last year's chief guest through Mr. Ramesh Venkateshwaran came, Dr. Radhakrishnan. This time, I think he's here, Mr. Rudy Gopalakrishnan, Arun Gopalakrishnan. On a casual chat, I was talking to him. I said, I'm looking for a chief guest. He said, anyway, you can help me. Yes, it's done. So he just recommended, he connected with Padma Shri Nandan Nilekani, and it worked out. So to me, it's more than a support base. And I'm very happy to be part of that setup where though people had different opinion in their own circles, their own group, but they never had that when they dealt with the school matters and when I approached them. That is the great strength I have. Because you may have your own issues. We're all human beings, a democratic society. Opinions, agreements, and disagreements are common. If that is not there, then there is no democracy there. Then it will become a dictatorship is there. But any particular issues, anywhere, whatever it is, OL has been a great support and guidance for me. I extend my warm gratitude to those great people, and I hope it will continue with the next person who will be coming after me in this chair. And I also want to thank Sangeeta is not here, our OL coordinator, who has helped me to connect with most of the people, because I don't know most of them. She's the one who guided me. You connect, you talk to them, and one phone call, their connection with me, irrespective of what they are, what their official designation is. Their connection with me is yes, Lawrence, much more than official or any other obligations with them. So that spirit, and I hope this will continue and this will strengthen the institution to a greater height. Coming back to another point, yes, there are situations where I have been bit tough with certain issues, number one. And number two, there are areas where I'm unavoidable to accommodate and support OL community, especially visit during COVID time and some, because it's a part, it's the interest of the school. I really not shared this issue with all of you people, why I blocked and stopped entry. I was having a battle here in the school with COVID infection. Most of my staff members are down with COVID. Most of my students were down. At one point of time, 36 people were there admitted here with suspected COVID. In a situation like this, it is not good for me to allow anybody to walk into the school. But I cannot tell this to you. I cannot tell it to the whole world. There are multiple occasions where the situations are not good. I have specifically told no entry to anybody, irrespective of who they are. I hope you understand, in those days, the stuff which I have taken is for the betterment and well-being of the greater community. And also I made some restriction into entry and exit, because I don't want everybody to walk into your school in the name of, there are cases where there are a lot of people trying to walk in, claiming that they are OL. And I connected with Madam Veena Villeva, connected with some of the Sangeeta. Then I came to know that, that there are people, they are taking advantage, because generally OL has got a good standards walking. So those are the things where I put it, and I did it with a good intention. And I hope that also should continue for the betterment of the school. And at the same time, I'm very thankful to all of you to give me this opportunity to speak, and also those great people who supported me directly, who supported me indirectly, and even in worst situations of lockdown, in situations of various issues, you have been very firm and solid behind it. And a special thanks I would like to mention Mr. Johnny Paul, Veena Villeva, and I forgot her name, Karishma. Yeah. The old generation I know because I'm very close to them, and they have been such a wonderful people, and their passion is much more than a connection to a school. It is almost like their family. With that, I end my word. Thank you very much for all the support and guidance given to me, and school will go step to step. I will be in education for some more years. I'm moving on to some other educational institution, and I'll be in touch with you, and definitely your school, the school which I was there, my school to some extent, and this place has given me a lot of memories. Definitely I cherish those good memories, and there are a lot of good people whom I just cannot miss you. I'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
I will now call on our President to give us a few remarks, essentially a thanks to Mr. Prabhakaran. Over to you, Veena.
On behalf of the Old Laurentians Association, I'd like to thank Mr. Prabhakaran, firstly for coming and addressing us between his busy founder schedule. but most of all, for all the help extended to us during his tenure as headmaster. He did have his moments learning to trust us OLs, as he was forewarned to keep us at a distance. However, he overcame that very soon and has been extremely approachable for any help we needed on the campus. He has warmly welcomed many reunion batches that have come up outside of Founders. He supported us by giving his fortnightly update on both the OL online programs, OL Assembly and OL Nation. It was a time when there were so many rumor mills going around, and we thought it was very important that we got an update directly from school. So he was so cooperative, he used to join and give the update on what was happening in school. Most of you must be aware that the OLA did not have an office space in school for many years. Thanks to the efforts of the OLA board members during the time of the late chairman, Mr. Desi Raju, and our own personal interactions with Mr. Prabhakaran, we were finally given an office space near the entrance up to school, opposite the school gate. Mr. Prabhakaran has taken the school through the challenging period of COVID. He knew the importance of Founders for the outgoing batches, especially as the batch of 21 totally missed out, and he had a mini Founders for the batch of 22 with the Vice President's visit to school. What he really needs to be commended for is the Herculean task of motivating the staff and students and putting together Founders in September 22 in a span of 3 weeks. One must keep in mind that the campus was literally closed for a year and a half, and with hardly any practice, he achieved the impossible, not missing much, and special mention of the effort put into the parade and meeting retreat, which is huge as it needs to bring so many students together. Many new students had not even seen Founders. He has many achievements, but has got good academic results year on year for the school. Mr. Prabhakaran, as we bid goodbye to you as Headmaster of Loveland, and your charming wife Sudha, who has been right there in solidarity and a wonderful host to us, certainly. We welcome you into the Old Laurentians fraternity like all our previous staff members. Do keep in touch with us and join our get-togethers wherever you need. I'm certain that all your students and all of us who have gotten to know you over your 5 years at Loveland will be happy to meet you. On behalf of the Old Laurentians Association, as a token of our love and appreciation, and for you to always remember us, the Old Laurentians Association, please take a bit of Loveday with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will get it sent to
This is a lovely little care package you've put together. I'm sorry. Lovely little care package you've put together. So thank you so much, Mr. Prabhakaran, and to also Ms. Sudha. Thank you. All right, and thank you to the President for those remarks as well. Excuse me. Okay. All right, we'll now move on to the presentation of the annual report. What this section of the AGM is simply letting you know what are the various things that have happened in the last year, what are the different activities we got up to, and also a bunch of calls to action for folks who want to also be involved in the coming year. This will be done by yours truly, and so here we go. This is an annual report for the last year. I know that we did have sort of a off period kind of a Founders as well that happened last September. So the story you're going to hear, all the activities that we've done is for the last year. All right, so let me start off by telling you, since the last report out to all of you, the one that you just passed today, we had 105 new members, lifetime members who joined the OLA as a body. Now this also includes the outgoing batch of 2023, and I'll come to that a little more about their induction as well. So that brings us to approximately about 3,800 members who are registered with us. Now that, of course, doesn't include a lot of the OLs and part of our alumni family who are not yet registered but are still very much part of the family. If you know anybody who tells you that, oh, register, what is that? Tell me more about it, or I'm not, please send them our way. On our website, we've got information, contact information that you can use to connect with us, and we will guide anyone who wants to get that lifetime membership as well. All right, we move on to the next. I'll tell you about our management committee. As of last September, those of you who were in attendance and that you would have seen the minutes as well, our president is Elizabeth Bina Beliapa, batch of 1970. The vice president is Admiral PG Philippos, batch of 82. A little wave from the VP there. We've got the treasurer, Prashant Menon, batch of 94, another wave there. And secretary is Karishma Sushil Kumar, batch of 2005, that's yours truly. And we've got two committee members, of course, who are also elected committee members, Jim Jose Tarayan from batch of 95, and Rohan Chetty, batch of 86. Now, in addition to this, guys, magic doesn't happen with just these folks. We've got, and I myself started out like that. We have working group members who participate in the weekly meetings, who participate in getting stuff done and organizing things, who are at the back end and the backstage doing amazing things. These include, of course, the ex-president, John K. Paul, batch of 1970. A little wave from Johnny Uncle there, if possible. Yes? Okay. We've got Johan Chaco from the batch of 1991. I think he's with us. There he's in the back, guys. Just have a look at who he is. Yeah, thank you. We've got Pradeep, who is from the batch of 1982. I missed his full name there, but Gaurav Sharma, 1997. Pradeep Reddy, there we go. Pradeep Reddy, batch of 1982. We have Gaurav Sharma, batch of 1997. If you guys play golf, you probably met with him. Tini Kora, who was our secretary before I was. He's here with us as well, folks. A little wave from Tini there, so you can all see who it is. And Sham Nair, of course, last but certainly not the least in any shape or form, Sham Nair, batch of 2002. And of course, he was there at the session we did yesterday as well, if you were there. Okay, we move on to tell you a little bit about what the OLA office staff looks like. We have two folks. We've got Raymond Noel Uday Kumar, batch of 2013. Incidentally, he's an OL. He's right here, Raymond. There we go. That's Raymond, folks. If you've seen the OLA administrator in the WhatsApp groups or any information that you need coming or any emails, pictures, he's ready to help. He's ever so good. Thank you, Raymond. And we have Albert as well, who has been helping us all year, time immemorial, I believe, and helping us with odds and ends here while at the office, OLA office. And that's the OLA MC and staff. We move on to just a call out on statutory compliance, just to assure all of us here, all statutory filings with Registrar of Societies Tamil Nadu are up to date. We are also up to date with our income tax returns. So all housekeeping matters in place as well. Now getting into more of the activities, some more interesting things to let you know what we've been getting up to. We'll begin with the social and special interest interactions through the course of the year. Let me tell you that we started this calendar year in Jan 14, 2023 at the UT Club. We had a lunch where we invited all of the graduating class of 2023. Every year the batch gets inducted, right? The rising graduates get inducted into the OLA. We welcome them into the alumni family. This time we had 92 students from that year. They're all welcomed and registered with us. So round of applause for the new OLs in our midst. They're the freshest of the fresh OLs. In terms of global live events, just calling out really quick where we have alumni and where things have happened in case you happen to be in those countries or cities. There was an event in the UK where they got together, in the US, the Bay Area, Bombay, back in India, Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi. So please know that folks are active in those places. If ever you find yourself in those cities, reach out to us. We can connect you to people if you like. In terms of the school history blog, this is one of the efforts that's been going on, led by Prem Rao, batch of 1967, and it's called Glimpses of a Glorious Past. And if you tuned in to the OL Assembly in the last few years, during the COVID years, we had that show we used to do every month. It used to be one of the segments there. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Glimpses is about OLs coming together to bring the past for today and tomorrow for all who love our school. It's based on the ebook of the same name published by the Old Laurentians Association during Founders 2017. This was added as a segment to the OL Assembly show in November 2020. Since then, we have branched out and started our own series. They just sort of rolled out of that and did their own thing. We have done this through 8 episodes of Glimpses and 40 posts on the blog. So this blog is there on our website, guys. And what does this blog cover? It's anything to do with any kind of historical aspect of school, the people, the edifices, events that have taken place. And if you're a history buff, I encourage you to go to our website and check out that blog. I want to give a shout out to Prem Rao, 1967, Sham Nair, 2002, Revant Noel, 2013, Elizabeth Burgess, also batch of 2013, and they're all here, by the way, for their 10th reunion. Many OLs across generations, too many to name, have contributed their time and effort towards GGP. And we want to thank everybody for their continued support all the way from the 1930s to the 2020s in participating and contributing to this nostalgic endeavor. That's Glimpses of a Glorious Past. I hope that sticks with you, and you check it out on the website. In terms of bringing together people at a regional level, we have WhatsApp groups that have done quite well. Over 1,500 OLs worldwide are now connected. We have several general and specialist groups via WhatsApp. These include sort of regional-based groups focusing on Karnataka, Hyderabad. I'm just going to list out the cities just so you guys know where all we have energy going on. Karnataka, Hyderabad, Delhi NCR, and the north in general, Mumbai, Goa, UAE and the GCC nations, Kerala, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Australia, UK/Europe, Coimbatore, North America as a whole has one, and a few niche regional US groups. The Nilgiris, Singapore, Gujarat, Pune, Bengal, and the East as well. Several groups appear to be, at present, not quite as active as the others, due to perhaps not having as many members in the other groups, but these may be merged into some regional umbrellas of what we're thinking. We're really looking for admins. If you're a community builder yourself and you want to help, be an admin in those groups and create a feeling of community, perhaps do events and such, please reach out to us. We're always looking for hands on deck. Of course, remember, this is all volunteer and it's all pure voluntary work. So please jump in and support in bringing us together as a community. In terms of hobby and special interest groups, we also saw the creation and maintenance of the following. If you have interest in these hobbies, reach out to us. If you did know about it, reach out to us and we'll add you to those groups. We have groups for golf. We have groups for entrepreneurs, expeditions, medical and healthcare, maritime. Always open to suggestions and wish to hear from any volunteer champions. If you think we should create, if you think there is energy around a particular hobby that doesn't already exist, we're really happy to create that. I do want to call out that we also have a group for mental health professionals within the OL community. And that group has really helped us. I remember 2 years ago in the COVID response team that we put together, where OLs helped OLs during COVID. The mental health group was quite wonderful during our time. In terms of some sports engagement, not too many in this past year. We did have a fun little Bangalore jaunt with a group getting together for golf. This was in June of 2022, and it happened in Clover Greens, Bangalore. Again, you're just calling this out just so you know that there are some of these ad hoc events that happen where somebody just takes initiative and makes it happen. So I invite you to do the same. This was led by Ramesh Venkateshwaran, Rahul Venkateshwaran, of batch of 97, Michael Katukaran, batch of 81, and was also helped by Jack Chakolo, batch of 76, who came all the way from Kochi. Also want to call out and do a shout out to Ashok Devan from batch of 1964 who came in from Delhi. This was just a fun meet where they had, they had a good time having an impromptu golf tournament. In terms of the entrepreneurs group that I mentioned, at present, it's not quite as active. If you are an entrepreneur yourself and you'd like to be part of it, and you also want to bring some energy into that, please come on board. We have about 100 entrepreneurs and business owners in that group. There's a lot of interest there. If you have some vision for how you think it should pan out or how it can be used, please get involved. Once again, we will be sharing with you how you can get involved with us. We've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got WhatsApp. You know the administrator now, you know all of us. Please ping anyone at any time. In terms of learning and development, we have, let me move on to the broader picture, which is professional and general networking after social networking. We have a template for OL Professional Network, but this is not quite as ready for launch. At this time, the OLA LinkedIn group is your best bet to connect with OLs for professional purposes. The OLA social media channels also include what I just mentioned. We have Facebook and Instagram. Again, volunteers always welcome. The other way that we've been bringing together OLs with their professional stories was through the OL Nation web show. Just like the OL Assembly, we had a show that got featured every month. Right now, we've taken a little bit of a pause, but let me tell you about the OL Nation show. We took a break at the end of last year as we recalibrate our plans and adapt to getting connected and better connected with our audience. Over a 30-month period, just so you know a little bit about our history, over a 30-month period, we've had the pleasure of working with 100 OLs from across the world. Their work is a diverse range of professionals and industries, demonstrating without any doubt that Lovedale has produced folks who can make a mark on them, for themselves anywhere and in any career that they choose. Several of these fine folks are able and willing to give back to the Laurentian community, which ties in with our session's theme yesterday. If you're aware that we showcased that in the program, we had a mentorship program session yesterday called Come Back to Lovedale with Purpose. The OL Nation Working Group is back to the drawing board and looks forward to hearing from you with ideas, suggestions, and more on how we can promote more professional networking within our community. Should you require a PDF summary, please send a WhatsApp request and we'll share that with you. And finally, for learning and develop, to segue off of the session that happened yesterday, it really builds on the OL Nation efforts. We've co-opted the OL Nation as the professional networking brand for this purpose, and we've introduced OLA membership program last year at Founders in September. We have 19 speakers, various topics including parenting, mental health, women in leadership positions, personal vision statements, maritime, aviation, design, military, entrepreneurship, startups, social, networking, data sciences, media, NGOs, medicine, all of those above. The initiative was much appreciated by OLs and the HM. Sham Nair and Rohan Shetty, along with the OLA committee, made a presentation to the HM last year in Jan with future plans, a few months ago in Jan, with future plans and stakeholder alignment for something called the LDM program, the Learning and Development Program. The implementation of this began last year during Founders in September, and then we had a session yesterday as well. The idea is to connect OLs with students and with parents. Now, through the course of the year, some of that also happens through the alumni coordinator. So how do we bring it all together? That's the effort. All right, well, with that, we'll just quick note on administrative initiatives, and that's the end of the report. We've got a website that if you've all had a chance to go check it out, we have now been able to have an active store there. The OLA shop, merchandise shop, is functioning, and people have been purchasing things before Founders, and also if you're not Founders, you can always purchase things from anywhere across India, I believe, and the world as well. We've introduced 10 new products that cover things like t-shirts and cravats, hats and caps, keychains, car stickers and such. And registration of events, any events that we do, will now be possible and enabled through the website as well. So that's just bringing it all together, making sure that the website is something that is useful and enables us in doing what we want to do. The OL store specifically, the merchandise team led by the Vice President, President, everyone's pretty keenly involved in this, is to introduce utilitarian products, something that all of us want to buy, wish to buy, is exciting, interesting, and high quality. What we don't want to do any further for the new year is just random stuff in the store. We want to make sure that what we have are all pretty high quality goods that OL's fashion. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. Water bottles, hoodies, keychains, mug, diaries. We've done a lot of retails or assessments, some sense from OLs as well. We've been in touch with people to see what is your interest, what do you guys want and will purchase. So please know there's a little bit of method to the madness. That's what I want to share with you. Finally, we do have a little bit of an update on the foundation. We mentioned this in the last AGM. We have a special address on that matter that's coming up in the agenda. So I'll let John K. Paul be making remarks on that front. So for now, I'll just say that the spirit of giving lives on in the OL community. For example, we had this instance of Mrs. Enos, whom a lot of batches know and love, and I believe recently there was a time where her house was sort of damaged in some sense. So just in terms of the spirit of giving, people came together, the batches of 82 and 86, just on the fly and put together those funds along with the president and the vice president, president and the ex-president, which is Reena and Johnny. And so just wanted to call that out and say that there's some energy around bringing that together, bringing those efforts together. How do we pool in to make a bigger impact? And that's what you'll hear about in the foundation remarks. With that, the annual report draws to a close. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate your time. That was the annual report. Thank you. All righty, so that's quite a lot happening this year. As you can tell, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of excitement, and a lot of intent. With that, I'll pass on this baton to the treasurer, Prashant, for his presentation of the annual financial report for this year. Over to you, Prashant. All right, round of applause for our friend Prashant. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Prashant Menon from the batch of 94 Vidya House. I present the annual audited accounts for the financial year 2022-23. The accounts are being circulated and on the screen shortly. And if you find it appropriate, I would like a proposal and seconder for the same. We managed a fantastic turnover of 19 lakhs point 14,000, thanks to the initiative taken by President and Vice President and all the community which has actually helped us bring new merchandise, etc. into the. Could I have a proposal and seconder? Thank you. Thank you.
So sorry, can I get the proposer's name? One more, sorry. 88. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the sector? Azia Tilani. Thank you, sir. Lovely. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Prashant, I think you'll have to come right on back for the annual appointment of the auditors. So back to Prashant Menon, our treasurer.
We would like to continue with our auditors, John Matthew and company, for the ensuing year. If I could have a proposal, second, it would be nice.
TT Job, 60 batch.
Second. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Prashant, for that. And thank you all those who have proposed and seconded. We love them to cut this. Thank you. All righty, we'll now move on to the next speaker of the matter, which is the President's address. Over to you, Elizabeth Pina. Batch of 1970. Thank you. Over to you for the President's address.
Hi everyone. Since founders last year in September, the OLA committee and volunteers from the community have been focused on improving global outreach and engagement. To this effect, facilitated various initiatives and events, improved digital communications, merchandise, and made continuous improvement to our website, making it a central hub for all matters alumni related. In today's rapidly evolving world, staying digitally connected is more important than ever. The COVID-19 pandemic forced us to adapt to a new way of life, one that relies heavily on digital communication and technology. As alumni, it is crucial that we stay digitally connected to our alma mater and to each other. Digital connections provide us with the opportunity to stay informed about the latest developments at our institution and among our illustrious alumni. This includes news, events, and various community-oriented initiatives. They also allow us to stay connected with fellow alumni, no matter where we are in the world or which batch we may be from. Social media platforms have become a powerful tool in our arsenal, enabling networking, sharing knowledge and experiences, and building lasting relationships with each other. One of the biggest challenges we faced in the past was keeping our global audience connected. With alumni scattered across the world, it can be difficult to maintain meaningful and ongoing relationships with each other and with our alma mater. Another challenge was the varying levels of engagement among our alumni community. Some alumni are highly involved and committed to giving back, while others may feel disconnected and or disengaged from our institution, which is understandable. Hence, our primary goal has always been and still remains to engage with all alumni and to keep them connected, particularly when there cannot exist a one-size-fits-all approach. We must all acknowledge and appreciate the work that participating OLs have done to improve community engagement. It is so heartening to see so many alumni take time out from their busy schedules and commitments and take responsibility to oversee various projects that the OLA undertakes. This ongoing collective participation and effort are underlying factors of our success. While there are too many OLs to name, I would like to thank all those that have contributed their time, energy, and efforts to this cause. Their relentless hard work, dedication, and the never-given spirit have helped in improving community interaction, global chapter networks, and philanthropic engagements across batches, bringing OLs together, thoroughly enriched and shared with shared experiences. We have worked tirelessly to strengthen ties among the OL community with the school and the Board of Governors. This allows for working closely in a cohesive manner with all the stakeholders, aligning on goals and outcomes and bringing long-lasting impact. OL Nation, an online program, and thought leadership knowledge sharing and networking, has brought together professionals from diverse industries, carefully curating and producing content. Topics range from entrepreneurship to health, well-being to design, and so much more. The program has reached an audience of over 4,000 plus OLs across the world. Last year, with the success we found in OL Nation, we decided to take one step further and introduce the Learning and Development and Mentorship Program, known in short as LD&M. While there were certain challenges that we faced in the beginning, the team remained resilient and focused on their goals, and we were able to finally launch a highly successful program. With the support of the school, the headmaster, and Mr. Sudhir Rao, OL rep on the board, we conducted a live panel discussion yesterday with students, parents, and OLs. This event has received immense appreciation from all those that attended, and they have requested that we conduct more such events, even if virtually on a regular basis. As we continue to develop the LD&M program, we aim to add more initiatives such as thought leadership, career guidance, sessions with experts from various industries, mentoring activities, skill development, and possibly even internships and job opportunities. Our hope is that these initiatives will not only have significant impact on students and young OLs, but also to the whole OL community. After all, there is no age limit to learning. As a proud alumni of our esteemed school, we all know the value of education that we have received and the impact it had on our lives. Now, as successful professionals and leaders in our respective fields, we have a unique opportunity to give back and support the next generation of students who will follow in our footsteps. Think about the role models, mentors, and resources that helped you to get to where you are today. You can be that guiding force for a current student or a recent graduate, whether it's volunteering as a mentor or coach, participating in alumni projects, or simply sharing your experiences and advice. Your time and energy can make a real difference in someone's life. The ultimate is to have a data bank for internship, for school students at school, and for fresh graduates. Another successful program I would like to draw your attention is Glimpses of a Glorious Past, which we call GDP very fondly. Our school has a rich heritage that spans over many decades. Documenting its history ensures that the unique stories, traditions, and accomplishments of the school are preserved for future generations. It allows current and future community members to connect with their roots and appreciate the school's legacy. GDP has, through its book and various episodes, fostered a sense of identity and pride for all of us, learning about the school's founding, notable alumni, milestones, and contributions, built a collective consciousness, and has strengthened the bonds between past and present students, faculty, and staff. Exploring the school's history helps create a sense of belonging and community among its members. It allows individuals to recognize their place within the large narrative of the Lawrence School Love Team and reinforces the notion that they are part of something greater than themselves. I don't know if any of you are aware that yesterday we had inauguration of the school, on the 17th, the school archives, which they are bringing it out, and in a little bit, they will be very, very, they are all set, and they are asking people to contribute to it, whatever you have, which they can put into the archives. This year, we also introduced the OLA Charitable Foundation. The foundation has been created and registered with the purpose to officially receive donations from alumni and other bodies. These will be used for various programs such as developing school infrastructure, providing scholarships, and participating in other charitable and OL community development activities and initiatives. This allows for the creation and management of separate sub-corpuses that are earmarked for different projects within the overall funds available. In doing so, various short and long-term projects can be carried out at different times and for various purposes as required and deemed fit. John Key Paul will give you a short note on what the OL alumni, the foundation is about. An additional focus area for the OLA committee has been to improve the variety and the quality of merchandise that we bring to the community. Our aim has to be to bring you products that not only add to your fond memories from school, but also ensure that you carry with you each day the never-given spirit. We will continue to ensure that we bring the best possible quality of products, and the proceeds from these merchandise sales go towards running operations and cover technology and resource costs. We also have inducted OL community partners for merchandise sourcing. Working with OL partners for merchandise establishes meaningful collaborations and relationships. It strengthens the bond between the OL community and promotes a sense of mutual support and shared goals. Building strong partnerships such as these can lead to a long-term synergies and a positive reputation within the community. Also, procuring merchandise from OL partners ensure that the products align with community values and preferences. This can enhance the authenticity and relevance of the merchandise, resonating with the community and fostering a deeper connection. I would like to invite more OLs to participate in this initiative, from design to product development to sourcing. We did induct the batch of 2023 in January, and it was done at the Uti Club. And it is a very, it's a different experience when you induct these youngsters, and to see their dreams. It is something we have a lot of recordings which at some stage we hope to put out. It is only through these community-enabled initiatives that we are able to bring long-lasting impact. We must continue to seek out new and innovative ways to engage our global audience, whether through virtual events, social media, digital platforms, and various other initiatives. We must also strive to provide meaningful opportunities for alumni to give back, both financially and through their time, energy, and expertise. Due to this, we have decided that the collective mission for all of this year will be coming back with a purpose. Many of us may think of giving back in terms of financial donations, and while those are certainly important, I want to encourage you to also consider giving back in other ways. Your time, energy, and expertise are just as valuable, if not more so, than your financial contributions. Remember, giving back doesn't have to be a one-time event. It can be an ongoing commitment to support the institution and the students who will shape our future. So I urge you to consider all the ways you can give back, especially in terms of opportunity creation within the community. Once again, I urge each and every one of you to participate in the various ongoing initiatives of the OLA and come back with a purpose, whether it is designing merchandise and communication, creating community-oriented programs, managing fundraising and initiatives, or simply just sharing of your time, some of your time to support one another. Thank you for your continued support and dedication to our community.
Thank you to the President for your address that talks about your vision and plans for FY24. I'll now call on our wonderful treasurer once again to talk to us about what the budget is for the year, you'll see that it reflects some of what the president had addressed. Over to you, President.
At present, the budget for the ensuing year shall be seen or shown on the screen. As you can see, the financial health of the association has improved. So at this time of growth, it will be fantastic to get suggestions from you where to take it forward. And if there are any suggestions for how to go forward, it will be fantastic from the audience if anything comes forward. Please.
Not on the budget, but on a couple of other suggestions.
I think there's a session after that. If this is okay, can I have a proposal and seconder?
Sergeant Johnny, please propose.
Thank you.
Second.
Is the full name again, sir?
Sergeant Johnny,
Bachelor?
83.
You ask the name over here.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's a big television Roman class of 7.
Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer. And thank you to the proposer and the seconder. All right, folks, I think it's tea time for sure, yes, but we've just got a few more things on the agenda here. I know we can smell the biscuits, I can. All right, we've got a special update from John Paul of batch 1970. Please do come up and a short address, a short update on what's going on with the foundation.
I think the president has already explained what we would like the charitable fund, our trust, will be doing. I'm not going to repeat that. I'd just like to say that it's been a long cherished dream that we have our own charitable trust. Basically, of course, all those things she said, but looking after old Orangeians themselves is also a requirement. Not all of us are doing as well as we should be doing. And for the school, see, even when we become independent, if we have to work with the school, we'll have to have an agreement or a mechanism where the money can be given to school and for the development of the school. Okay. So from 18, we've been trying to do this. Due to various technical issues, we were not able to start the bank account. But finally, last month, we have just started the bank account, and the chartered accountants are doing the other work where we can start taking donations, which I think by the end of, by the middle of June, we should be ready to do that. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir, for that. And if anyone has any questions on that, you know whom to reach out to or walk up to. Got questions. And now to the second and final special address. We've got a keynote address and speaker who is going to speak along the lines of the theme, giving back. We'll invite our OL friend and part of the family, Rohan Rao from the batch of 98. Over to you, good sir, for your address. Thank you. A round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. I won't be very long. What I wanted to basically talk about is giving back. And giving back really means different things to different people. Sometimes different things to the same group of people at different times. So I wanted to discuss what we have done, the batch of 98. About 10 years back for our 50th reunion, thanks to a few impassioned and well-intentioned folks, we got started with our fundraising effort. And we ended up supporting the establishment of laboratories for support staff, so that they didn't have to go to the forest to do their thing. And main salt here was convenience, personal dignity, and privacy. In the next instance, which is 5 years later, for our 20th reunion, 5 years from today, what we ended up doing was shifting our focus towards a different group, and a group that was even closer to home because we were eventually across the past ourselves. And in this instance, what we did was help support the establishment of the new school gym as well as yoga. And the intention here was to solve for not just physical development, but also the understanding that it will have compounding effects on the cognitive and emotional development of Laurentians for their lives, but also if they were to set good examples in the communities that they're a part of, it would be a fantastic opportunity for them to set that example for others as well. In this instance, so this is our 25th reunion, and we have a few fantastic folks in the back here. What we're doing is working through the whole process, so we haven't really completed the fundraising effort in this instance, and it's taken a good amount of time and effort. So one learning for me, being a little involved in this instance, is that it's not just financial capital, but also human capital that goes into some of the efforts that we involve ourselves in. And what I wanted to do is basically share what we're doing a little differently in this instance. What we're doing is recodifying our thought process in terms of how we go about raising funds. And we're preparing a fundraising playbook based on inputs from folks who've been deeply involved in the past, based on folks who are involved now as well. And we basically have 4 different sections to that fundraising playbook. It's in the works, but I just wanted to share what's happening underneath the hood so that you all have a little bit of perspective. And I'm sure, given your experience from the past, you've got a lot to teach us as well. So there are 4 elements to this. One is the social contract that we're intending for, and I'll get into details. The second is how best to engage with the school, how best to engage with the batch, and then how best to complete the entire process. When it comes to the social contract, what we're doing is clarifying to ourselves what our primary set of objectives are. And there can be many objectives. We could solve for maximizing the amount of funds that we've raised in this instance. We could also solve for optimizing the number of batchmates who contribute compared to years past. We could solve for near-term impact, we could solve for long-term impact, we could solve for a term that some might be familiar with, batch unity, and ensure that we cover an entire single project or maybe even multiple projects on our own. We're going through that entire process of clarifying what our social contract is in this instance, and like we've seen from past times, there's been changes, and we may keep mixing it up for ourselves as well as for the broader community that we're looking to serve in the role that we play. When it comes to liaising with the school, also there are various options. We could engage with the headmaster, we could engage with the bursar, we could engage with the UL coordinator, anybody else. And what we've ended up doing in this instance is actually engage on a couple of different fronts with the headmaster as well as with the UL coordinator. And they've been extremely supportive, and we really look forward to that partnership. But in addition to our engagement with the school, what we also try and do is ensure that we have a little more clarity as to what the school's current projects and priorities are. Not just what the projects are, but also what their relevant urgencies are, what their descriptions are, what their pros and cons are, what the budget is like, what the impact is going to be in the near term, long term, and so on. And we've worked through that and gotten that perspective. Having done that, we're now at the moment engaging with our batch, and even there we've actually tried a bunch of different things compared to years past. We've tried pure email communications, we've tried communications via a single WhatsApp group. We're now trying multiple WhatsApp groups as well as emails. We can see a future where, I was mentioning digital platforms. We could use other instances that bring people together. And you have technologies like Slack and Discord that could be adopted for certain reasons in the future. I think more junior batches will more likely just hop onto them because that's the word we kind of did it. So we have to be mindful of that also as to how we best engage with the batch. What we've learned, of course, is that folks have very pertinent, thoughtful, and insightful questions, which really give us perspective that this is not a series of steps. We do clarifying the social contract, followed by engaging with the school, followed by getting perspective from the batch. It really goes in a little bit of a loop, so it's a little non-linear, and it just improves our understanding, elevates our commitment, and then helps us move forward. So I just want to mention that this is kind of where we are right now. It's going to take us some more time. It was great to hear from Johnny Paul sir that you have the charitable foundation work that's taking place. The timing seems really interesting. But I just want to mention that when it comes to closing matters, there can actually be multiple populations here too. There can be various ways in which we can transfer money. There are various ways in which we can clarify what the tax deductible implications are for our classmates who live in various countries, and we know that tax deductible documentation details tend to vary by geography. But folks in Australia, in India, in Spain, in the UK, in the US. I'm sure I'm not getting an exhaustive list going here. But I do want to mention that there's a fair amount of detail here. So what am I trying to get at? I think my main point here is that by codifying this, our hope is that we'll be able to share this perspective with other batches so that they can learn from what we've learned. But it's not going to be a one-way communication. What we'd like to do is have a two-way communication going, where we learn from other folks' practices, best practices, next practices, and as I mentioned, just over these past 10 years, we've seen a few different ways in which we've done things differently, and we'll surely do so in the future. I do want to mention that when it comes to doing things from the batch side to the school, it doesn't purely need to be financial capital connected. It can be thought leadership that we might have, to some of the points that were mentioned earlier about internship opportunities that could be created, or for that matter, some mentorship we could do. I was actually speaking with Shadu, who's batch of, I think, 95, and she's a film producer, and she mentioned that she's very passionate about giving mentorship on that particular track. So there could be work done. What I'd like to say is that I think the more we can leverage digital platforms to understand what is going on, right? So if we have 60 batches after school, each doing any kind of work, whether it's financial capital contributions or human capital contributions, if each one of them is doing work, it'd be great to get perspective on this taking place, so we can all learn from each other's working perspective versus this delayed perspective that we're trying to get to, which is not really an optimal answer. So that was pretty much what I wanted to share, and just wondering, there is not much time for that. Yes. So that was it from my side. Really appreciate connecting with you all, and it's great to meet you. Thanks.
Thank you, Rohan. That was Rohan Rao from the batch of 98. And all of that thought leadership and whatnot, Rohan. Hi, Rohan. Your comments can really be, driven into what needs to happen in the foundation. So I do hope that those communication channels continue. Thank you. And with that, that was a batch that is doing a reunion this time. I want to call on, for a very, very brief, just hurrah from batch of 1970. We're going to do some addresses by reunion batch representatives. So from the batch of 1970, I think we have this. Yeah. Dilip Subramanian from the batch of 1970. Hurrah!
Good afternoon, fellow local origins, ladies and gentlemen. Dilip Subramanian, batch of 70, Sumeru House. Liz asked me to, as one of only 4 people who came from outside India for this particular reunion, which happens to be it's our 53rd year, but it happens to be our 50th that we are celebrating this year because it was postponed from 2020. So she's asked me to articulate why it was important for me to come all the way from the United States. There were 3 of us and 1 of us from Australia that showed up. So I was thinking about this briefly because I'm not a very good public speaker, but I thought I came upon an idea. I said, for back in 1970, when we wrote our Indian school certificate exam, we had a 6-month period where we left school, and telecommunications being not what they are today, it was very hard to keep in touch with people. So I might have kept in touch with a handful of people during that time, and then once I got into college, it sort of made matters worse because I acquired a whole new set of friends. And then to make matters even worse, I went overseas for my master's degree. And so as a result, I sort of fell out of touch with the school. And it was only a chance encounter. So as a result of that, I actually missed our batch 25th reunion. And I didn't even know about it. So it was a chance encounter with another classmate. A gentleman who is no longer with us today, Narayan Rao Lal, as we affectionately call him, got in touch with me, and I was able to give him my contact information, and then I was added to batch communications, which had then become a lot better. So after that, it's been almost overwhelming. I've been in touch with just about everybody I can think of, and I attended my first reunion, which was in 2015, 45th. And it was super exciting. I was amazed at what had happened to the school since I had graduated. And that interest has been sustained. I continue to find further improvements. I think the school is doing a great job keeping up with infrastructure improvements, and I hope curricular-wise as well. So I'm going to continue to try and stay in touch and continue to support the school and do what I can to attend. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, thank you. And I think that's what we have for the batch representative. If there's anybody else with batch reunions that would like to talk to us, to this group, that would be great. Seeing as there are none, we're going to move forward right on to something fun called the call to action. If you guys have any, thank you all. Thank you. This is the moment we'd like to hear from those of us who are still with us, and you know what, you can reach out to us in other ways. Thank you. 2 minutes of just asking you guys, what, if any, do you have ideas for us? You've heard us go on and on today about things we're doing. Longest bow out of any word. But is there something that's missing? There a blind spot? There's something, you know, that you'd expect from an association, not quite seeing that. Any ideas?